Hello everyone, welcome back in this channel. So in this tutorial, we're going to discuss on how to calculate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix using the artistic method. So before we do a 3 by 3 matrix, we are first of all going to do a recap on the calculation of determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Then after we have done a recap on the determination of a determinant in a 2 by 2 matrix, then we'll now be able to calculate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, and basically you're going to focus on the artistic method. So let us do it practically. For example, I'll give an example. I will start with a 2 by 2 matrix. For example, you have a matrix A whereby the elements are 8, 9, 6, and -5, and it is enclosed in brackets. So this is what we said when you're calculating the determinant on a 2 by 2 matrix. We say that you take the product of the elements in the leading diagonal, then subtract the product of the elements in the other diagonal. So whereby we said that the leading diagonal, this is the leading diagonal here, this is the leading diagonal. Always first, the first thing to do is to identify the leading diagonal, and the elements in the leading diagonal are 8 and -5. So you're going to take 8 multiplied by -5. Then you're going to subtract the elements, the product of the elements in the other diagonal. So the elements in the other diagonal, definitely it is 6 and 9. So you're going to subtract the product. So it is 6 multiplied by 9. So now the determinant now will be 8 multiplied by -5, whereby it will give you a -40. Then subtract 6 multiplied by 9 is 54. Then you do this calculation. -40, you subtract -54. Definitely it will give you -94. So we have now our determinant. Our determinant for matrix A will be equal to -94. So this is what we did on a 2 by 2 matrix. So we are going to proceed on to a 3 by 3 matrix. How we now calculate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, and you're going to base on the artistic method. So you're going to do it practically. So we want now to calculate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix using the artistic method. So, for example, we have our matrix A, which is 3, 1, 2. Then the other row is -1, 2, and 4. Then the other one is 3, -2, and 1. So you're going to enclose this in brackets. So this is what we do when you are calculating the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix using the artistic method. So you take the first two columns. The first two columns, these are the first two columns. The first two columns. And then you're going to copy them on the other side of the brackets. So this is what we mean. You take the first two columns, the elements in the first two columns, you copy them in the other side of the brackets. This is what we mean. So our first column is 3, -1, 3. So as you can see, this is the first column. And then you copy the elements in the other column on the other side of the brackets, on the right hand side. So this is 1. So you're going to take 1, 2, and -2. As you can see now here. So, and then the other thing that you will do is that now you will take the elements in the leading diagonal, the product of the elements in the leading diagonals, then subtract them from the product of the elements in the other diagonal, as you have done in the 2 by 2 matrix. So what you are now supposed now to identify, it is the elements in the leading diagonal. So the elements in the leading diagonal are this one. So the first one is this one. As you can see here, you're going to take 2, -1 up to 2. That is the first one. So the second one will be 1 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3. So that is the elements in the leading diagonal. And then the last one will be 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. So those are the elements in the leading diagonal. So you're going to take their product, then you're going to subtract them from the product in the other elements in the other diagonals. So you're going to identify the other diagonals. So I'm going to use a different color here. So our main objective is to identify the elements in the leading diagonals and the elements in the other diagonals, so that you can take their products and then subtract them. So the elements in the other diagonals, so we are going to identify the first one. It is this one. The first one is 3, 2, and 2. So that is the first one. Now the second one, we are going to take from -2, 4, and 3. And definitely the last one will be this one, 1, -1, then 1. So you're going to take the product of the elements in the leading diagonals, which are these one. These are the leading diagonals. Then you subtract them from the product of the elements in the other diagonals. And then you'll be able to obtain the determinant. So you're going to do it practically now. You're going to do it practically. So let us ensure that it is visible. So the elements in the leading diagonal will start by 3. So we'll start by 3, multiply by 2, This is 3 multiplied by 2, then multiply by, let us, so the elements in the leading diagonal, we said that these are the elements in the leading diagonal. They are this one, whereby we'll start with this one, 2, 3, multiply by 2, multiply by 1. Sorry for that. So the elements in the leading diagonal are, we'll start with 3, multiply by 2, then multiply by 1. And then you're going to add the other diagonal. It is this one, 1 multiplied by 4, 1 multiplied by 4. This is 1 multiplied by 4, and then multiply by 3. Then you're going to enclose that in brackets. Then you're going to add now the product of the other diagonal. So the other diagonal here, it is 2 multiplied by -1 multiplied by -2. So we are going to do it. We have said that it is 2 multiplied by -1 and then multiply by -2. So we are going to do that simple calculation. So 3 multiplied by 2, it is 6. Multiplied by 1, it is 6. So you're going to take 6. Then you're going to add 1 multiplied by 4, it is 4. Then 4 multiplied by 3, it is 12. And then you're going to do the last one. 2, you're going to multiply by -1. This was -1. 2 multiplied by -1 is -2. Then -2 multiplied by -2. So a negative plus multiplied by a negative definitely becomes a positive. So -2 multiplied by -2 will be +4. It will be +4. So that is the product of the elements in the leading diagonal. Then you're going to subtract them from the products of the elements in the other diagonal. So when you do this calculation, 6 plus 12, it is 18, then plus 4, it will give you 22. So we are done with the product of the elements in the leading diagonal. So we are going now to calculate the product of the elements in the other diagonal. And then you are going to subtract for us to get the determinant. So the elements in the other diagonal we'll start with this one. So we are going to take 3. You're going to take 3 multiply by 3 multiply by 2. As you can see, 3 multiply by 2. Then you are going to multiply by 2. So it is 3 multiply by 2 multiply by 2 multiply by 2. And then you're going to enclose that in brackets. And then you're going now to add it. So you move on to the other diagonal, which starts from -2. As you can see here, it is -2. So -2 multiply by 4, -2 multiply by 4, then multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Yeah, and then you're going to add now the product of the other diagonal, of the elements in the other diagonal, and the elements are, we'll start with 1 multiply by -1, then multiply by 1. Yeah. As long as you are able to identify the elements in the leading diagonal and also the elements in the other diagonals, you take their product, then you subtract them, and then definitely you are going to get the determinant. So let us do this calculation. So we started with 3 multiplied by 2. As you can see here, 3 multiplied by 2, that is 6. Then 6 multiplied by 2, that will give you a positive 12. Then we proceed on to this one. We say that -2 multiplied by 4, that will give you a -8. Then -8 multiplied by 3, it will definitely give you a -24. So it is a -24. Then we proceed on, we add. So it is 1 multiplied by -1. So 1 multiplied by -1 will be -1. Then -1 multiplied by 1, it will give you a -1. So you are going to subtract -1. So we are going to rewrite it now. We are going to rewrite it. So it is 12 minus 24. So when you multiply a positive with a negative, the sign will be negative. So it will be -1. And then you are going now to do it. You are now going to do it practically now. So 12, you subtract 24. That will give you -12. Then -12, you subtract 13. You subtract 1, it will definitely give you negative. This will give you -13. So it is 12, you subtract 24, it will give you -12. Then -12 minus 1, it will give you -13. So we have now the products. The product on the leading diagonal was 22, and the product in the other diagonals, in the elements in the other diagonals, it is -13. So we can be able now to calculate the determinant, whereby we said that we'll take the products of the elements in the leading diagonal, then subtract them from the product of the elements in the other diagonal. So you're going to take 22, you subtract -13. So let us do it in a clear page so that it will be more visible. So we'll take 22, you subtract -13. So we said that a negative, when you multiply a negative with a negative, it will give you a positive. So this sign will change to positive. So it will be 22 plus 13. So 22 plus 13, it will give you 35. So our determinant for the 3 by 3 matrix will be equal to 35. So basically that is how you can calculate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix using the artistic method.